In this PowerPoint, we take a look at storyboarding. So for our next assignment, we are going to create a longer animation using Animate for your assignment. You will be creating a story regarding your theme. So if mine is about coffee, it could be any story that has anything to do with coffee. So, it's up to you how creative you want to be. If you have trouble getting started, please let me know and together we can brainstorm some ideas together. Or you can just email me some of the ideas you have and I can let you know what I think about them. Before we go right into Animate and start creating this animation for your assignment, step number 1 is actually storyboarding. So storyboarding is the planning phase before you start creating the animation. So in your storyboard, you're going to plan what your animation is going to be about. So let's take a close look at storyboarding. First of all, what is a storyboard? A storyboard is a graphic representation, so like a drawing, of how your animation will unfold shot by shot. Okay, so not just scene by scene, but you could have multiple slides. Slides are, each one of these rectangles. You can have multiple slides for each scene, depending on what happens in that scene. Anyway, so a storyboard is made up of a number of squares or pictures representing each shot, so each thing that's happening in your animation, with notes about what is going on. So the notes will be here in what's going on in the scene. Okay, and what is being said in the script. So if there's music in that scene or somebody is saying something in that scene, then you can add that also in your notes. So think of it as sort of like a comic book version of your script or of your animation. So you're wondering, what if you can't draw? So to make a good storyboard, you don't really have to be an artist. A storyboard can be anything from a comic book like rough sketches. It could be just stick figures to really nice computer generated drawings. For our assignment, we are going to be just doing some stick figures or very rough drawings. You can just, if you're drawing a bear, you can just draw 2 circles and say that's a bear. Basically, you're just trying to tell a story about what is going to happen. You're trying to plan what's going to happen in your animation. So why do you need a storyboard? Well, a storyboard is the best way to share your vision with your team or with me or someone else on what your animation is going to be about. It makes the production much easier because it gives you a plan to follow. And it also actually saves you time. It makes the creation process a lot easier. It's, believe it or not, even though you're doing something extra, it's a lot faster to create a plan first instead of just jumping right into Animate and just seeing what happens, right? You need to have a story or a plan before you go into Animate and start creating symbols and tweens and timelines, okay? So how to create a storyboard. A storyboard is a series of images representing each frame of your video. So how you put the storyboard together and how much detail you want to add is really up to you. You can do it on paper, in a word processing program, or in a specialized software. For our assignment, we are going to be doing it on paper with just hand drawings, okay? So to create a storyboard, you have to follow these 3 steps. First, you create blank slides, then you add your script, and you sketch your story. So start with the first one, you create blank slides. So the first step into creating a storyboard is to draw a series of squares on a piece of paper. So I would advise you to use this template. You can use exactly what I have here. You have your animation name, you have scene number. So for one scene, like I said, you might have multiple rectangles or multiple slides, and under it you can write action, dialogue, and special effect if any special effects happening. So first you start out drawing the blank slides, and then you add your script. So beneath each script, you would, for action, you would tell me what happens in here. So bear walks across a forest, and maybe a voiceover will be the bear is humming a tune. Okay, so your storyboard should read like a comic book. So readers, like your coworkers or clients, can get a sense of exactly what's going to happen in your animation. Next, you sketch your story. Okay. So you should sketch how each scene is going to look visually. So again, you don't have to be very good in drawing. It doesn't have to be terribly detailed. You know, by looking at this slide here, you can see that, okay, there's a car and it's driving. So police car speeds into camera. So if you're not good at drawing, really you just have to draw very basic things. And then in your action, you can explain what's happening here. You don't have to draw in all the props or anything, or even use color. Just black and white sketches are fine. And again, stick figures are fine if you're terrible at drawing. Really the idea is to communicate what is going to happen in your story to me. So just provide enough visual detail to give an impression of what's happening, which characters in the scene, and which general framing will look like. The script and notes will help fill in the rest of the details. So for your assignment, I would like you to please create a hand-drawn storyboard. You should have minimum 5 pages with 3 slides on each page like I showed you. So do it just like I have shown you, just hand draw it. You can take a picture of each page. So you should have 5 pictures, and each page would then be a JPEG, right? So you'll create all the JPEGs into one PDF. So you would save all these JPEGs in the correct order into one PDF, and you would submit one PDF, please. If you have trouble doing this, please get in touch with me. Let me know and I can help you through this process. So this is going to be the basis of what your animation is going to be about. Okay, so before you get really excited and you want to do something really elaborate, think about your level of skill in animate, and also what's available to you in the assets. So if you want to do like a dancing bear, and there is a dancing bear in the assets, then good for you. If you want to do a dancing bear but you don't know how to draw a dancing bear or animate one, and you're not good at drawing and there's none in the assets, then maybe you shouldn't have a dancing bear. All right, so that's just an example. And of course, your storyboard and your animation for this assignment 7 should have to do with your theme, the general theme that you have picked. All right, so I look forward to all your creations again. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to be here for you to bounce ideas off of. All right.